I'm Shane.
And I'm Bo.
We are Kentucky Fried Critics.
Welcome back.
Another odd number for everyone this week.
Yeah, I'm sick of math. We have to keep track so we know what number we're on, I guess.
Well, I'm just mainly excited.
I don't always have to sit here and be like, oh, what's that divisible by?
Yeah, we're not doing that this time.
Yeah.
I was just mainly excited because it's almost 40. We're like,
we're getting close.
we're in, next episode, dude. Like, I mean, that's how close we are.
What are we going to do on 50? We're going to do anything special?
I don't know, dude.
I know.
I've not put that much thought into it because when we first started, that seemed so far away.
Expect to get
so
that far?
Unobtainable, dude.
Yeah.
Because think about it. 52 is a year.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right.
We're 13 episodes away from
doing this for a year. Dude, we're awesome.
That's why I was saying, like, it's so crazy. Like, 50, like, when you say 50, I'm like...
I didn't think of it until, like, the other day. I was like, oh, man, we're coming up. We should probably think of doing something. I know it's usually like 100, but fuck that. We'll do 50.
We can do 50 just because it is right by a year. Since we do every week and we've not missed a week.
Yeah, we haven't missed a week. We're here every week entertaining.
We might hit
our people.
A year, just as a heads up to people. We might hit a year, take a week or two off as far as uploading. That's not saying we might not work.
Yeah, we might not. We might just...
That way we can maybe try to get stocked up. It gives us a chance to do some more stuff for you guys if
maybe
we can get stocked up. Yeah.
Try some new shit.
So don't be alarmed. Again, we still got some time until then. If we decide to do that, we'll let you guys know for sure. I think we have spent enough time talking about stuff that's not even the socials yet.
No, it's not even
so let's
the
go ahead and
socials.
get into those.
Yep,
That way we
let's
can
go ahead
get
and breeze
into
through
the
those
episode.
because our true followers already know. But for the new guys, this is how you find us.
That's right. And so the first one's always the Meta Trio. So it's going to be Facebook, Instagram, Threads, which I have been actually posting on.
It is real.
Not great posts.
They're there, though.
But I
It
have
exists.
been posting some. There are things to interact with. If you interact with me there now, I'll be alerted.
Yeah, and they will tell him, and he'll be like, oh, I should do more things over here.
Yeah. So all of the meta apps, again, those are all just going to be Kentucky Fried Critics. All lowercase, no spacing, nothing special. It's either a slash or an at. It all depends on which handle identifier that website uses.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw out fancy words. And even I was questioning my own choice there. I was like, I don't know if that's correct.
We don't have enough techno babble for this one. The positronic relays have have decayed, and we need to jump them through the EPS ODN network, route it through the warp plasma core.
Oh, that was definitely some techno babble. After the meta apps, we'll go ahead and take care of YouTube. YouTube used to be that one that we were not fans of because it stood out. It was different. It wasn't the one we wanted.
I was willing to fight those other dudes for their...
It didn't match. It didn't match everything. It wasn't all samesies. And, we live in a world now where you want everything to be the same.
But
you want to be able to say something like, you can find us at this on
everywhere.
All the socials.
Just simplifies things, but not here. And we hated it. But now this is my brother, my beloved... My KFC Riddicks.
That's right. We're at YouTube. You're going to find us. That's going to be youtube.com/@KFC Riddicks.
Yep. The home of the Riddick Rat.
He's our beloved secondary mascot.
I believe he's the YouTube channel's mascot.
That's what I want to say.
Commander Pop Culture's the show's
is
overall
the overall mascot. Yeah, but YouTube has its own. That's what I was gonna say, because that way we can even start distinguishing like our fan base that way, right? So then
you only watch us on YouTube.
Then you're
the Riddick Rats. Then
you're gonna be one of the
ratlings.
That's right.
I want it now. I want that more than anything. I want a big group of followers and fans, and we are just the ratlings, right?
Now, that being said, with YouTube, the other thing you guys might have noticed, so that, though, the Back to the Beach, we finally updated a little bit for YouTube.
Yeah.
It's no longer the same old cartoony picture. Again,
but you can't do the same thing over and over.
Well, and again, we're wanting to get to video.
Yeah.
And so if the first step we can take is to try to at least let you guys see our faces.
Yep, our lovely mugs.
And so we're at least going one step further until we get to video, which hopefully will be soon.
Yeah, real soon.
We just don't know for sure yet. Still working on it.
It's remember those big plans I was talking about earlier?
Big plans, that's right. I think that's enough talk on YouTube.
Yeah,
though.
YouTube.
You just know that we're trying to do more there because we do understand we live in a world where lots of people like to
law of diminishing returns.
They like to watch their podcast as
Yeah.
much as they do listen, right? And I mean, I'm just as guilty of that. I have some podcasts that, again, I'll listen to them,
If
but
I'm
my
driving,
preferred way
is to watch
to
it,
view
yeah.
them is to watch it. So, like I tried to do once already, let's move off of YouTube.
Let's move away. We're done.
We're done with YouTube.
Continue on.
The next one is going to be our website. And again, our website, it's the hub for everything.
Yep.
You're going to find us at shows.acast.com/Kentucky-fried-critics.
I'm getting so much better.
Yeah. Well, it used to be your favorite. And
I'm
now
getting,
that,
like-
I think that's what happened. You were already getting better. Your hyphen addiction
Hyphenmania.
was already getting better. And then you found something to help, a healthier thing.
A healthier thing to
with.
replace it with. Riddick Rat has replaced my hyphens in my heart.
All right, and then that's just going to lead us straight to the last one. That's going to be our email. You can, again, all of these, like I already said, the website's a hub. You can find all of this stuff there. The email is also there. But again, for the people who don't use the webs, the interwebs.
The web to webs, that dim damned internets.
Again, if you're not using the interwebs, I don't know how good having our email is going to be for you. But just in case you need it,
Here it is.
You'll have it. It's KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com. All lowercase, no spacing, no.
It's done the same way.
No
it's been
hyphens,
since
no
the 90s,
underscores, no
right?
anything like that. We did luck out. Nobody had that.
Yeah, nobody had that.
Yeah, we were
didn't
lucky
have
there.
to do anything fancy to it. No, like 19 numbers at the ass end.
Nothing
of it.
like that. Exactly. We got lucky
yeah.
there. We were super lucky there. All right, so we're officially done with socials at that point, so we can go ahead and we tell them what we're drinking first.
Well, today, my dear friends, ladies, and fine ladies especially, we are drinking some Courvoisier. And if that wasn't a good enough clue for you.
If they don't already know from
exactly
what
I'm
said,
talking about.
yeah. Well, and again, unlike when we would do a beer where we maybe got a little bit more to talk to you about.
That's it. Courvoisier.
Courvoisier, it's a cognac. So this is French brandy.
Yeah.
It's made.
It's got to come from a specific spot, or it's not.
just
It's like champagne. So I think last week when I called it French cognac, that was like
it was like it was like a double negative. Obviously, we can jump off of the liquor and straight into it, but like you said, certainly saying it the way you said it just now. If you didn't know before we got to today. Like if the post didn't give it away, if the picture of the incense
and the
Courvoisier itself didn't give it away, it's the ladies' man.
Yes, it's some Leon Phelps, the ladies' man, your official expert on love. Can't help but do the voice when you talk when you're talking about
certain
it.
lines, especially.
Yeah, especially. Yeah. This movie is infinitely quotable,
and we'll be hitting a lot of them.
I'm sure you're gonna get annoyed with my voice eventually.
But yeah, so this is an SNL movie. It's the 90s were the heyday.
Yeah, those were the great ones.
And we're like Coneheads,
Night at the Roxbury,
Superstar.
Yeah, Superstar.
So I mean, the 90s had a lot of. Then we hit this one, The Ladies' Man, in 2000, and
they just kind of stopped.
Well, again, this one didn't do well. I know you were in shock when I told you this. You have very fond memories from your childhood.
Yeah, I love this movie,
and you just didn't know what the real world thought about it. But yeah, this movie it's
apparently offensive.
It offended a lot of people, even then. Yeah. Which is saying something because
now I get how people would be offended, but back then I'm just like, come on, it's just funny.
But apparently, it still insulted a lot of people's sensibilities. I thought it was funny.
It's hilarious.
It's still funny. It probably wasn't as funny today as it was when I was a teenager, but it was still funny.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to. I'm not. I didn't go into it, and I wasn't like offended. A combination. It wasn't that I was offended, and I also wasn't just like, this is so stupid, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
There were a couple of moments where I maybe was like, okay,
we definitely can't do that now.
But not even that. There were a couple of moments where I was like, this is maybe too stupid.
This is.
But they quickly walked past them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those movies where they hit one of the stupid jokes and they just stay on it. And you're just like,
hammer it. Like,
make you want to turn it off.
Did you see the dumb thing we did over here?
They did a pretty good job of like not like
just letting it
overstaying its
on.
well. Before we go any further, we should definitely recap who's in this movie.
Good idea.
Got a ton of people.
It's got everybody.
It's star-studded. I mean, it's got SNL because again, this is 2000, so we're talking Will Ferrell. So this is not like superstar Will Ferrell. Well, I mean, it's like the movie Superstar Will Ferrell, but it's not like superstar. He was not a superstar.
He hadn't hit big time like he is now.
This is like a year after Night at the Roxbury's or something like that.
Yeah, he's just getting started.
But yeah, this is early. early on. It's only a few years after he really got into like television.
Yeah, I think he'd
in
only been
general.
on SNL for a few years by this point.
So I mean, this is by no means like legendary Will Ferrell
and
yet.
definitely not his breakout role, which I think it should have been.
But it's starring Tim Meadows, who was until recently with Keenan. I want to say he was like the longest running cast member. Because
been on there forever.
my childhood,
I remember,
was Tim Meadows on SNL. I don't remember him not being
there,
a background character in almost every skit. So I love Tim Meadows. I thought this was his chance finally. I remember when this came out. I was so excited for him. I was like, finally, dude's getting his shot. He's getting his chance. He's gonna do it, and it fizzled.
So unfortunate. This is such a good movie.
Yeah,
so mad about it. I want to go back in time.
He didn't get his due. But yeah, so Tim Meadows is playing Leon Phelps. It's his character. He originated on SNL. This is a much raunchier take. Right?
Yeah,
this is a rated R movie.
Yep.
Most SNL movies are like PG-13.
Yeah, so this one they're like, no, don't bring your kids.
This one went harder.
Of course, made all of us kids want to see it. Yeah, we're like, oh, dude, man, there's some shit in this movie where even when I was a kid, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it went a little far, maybe a little further than even the SNL character. You know, like that might be why it didn't resonate with a lot of people.
Probably the problem when you have a lot of people who are used to just ad-libbing their line and coming up with shit on the fly. Sometimes shit goes too far.
After Tim Meadows, we'll hit Karen Parsons. She played Julie, so she's our female lead in the movie. She's
a producer, I guess you'd call him.
Yeah. No, she's his producer. She's the one, again, like for the uninitiated. Sorry, we didn't say this.
Yeah.
Leon Phelps is the ladies' man.
Yep.
But he runs a radio show
where you call in with your love problems, and he'll tell you some advice on it. Probably not good
or
advice.
Something.
It's usually not good advice.
And it's almost never how the call actually works. It's usually someone needing something unrelated to sex, and he finds a way to make it up to sex.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Julie is his producer, played by Karen Parsons. Like I said, this is Hillary. Is that what I said?
Yeah, Hillary
from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She's also the love interest in Major Payne.
Payne.
Have probably seen her in things. Is what I'm getting at. She is definitely someone that you'll recognize.
She's one of our people.
Yeah, and now we'll just kind of move down the list. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, let's go, and I'll try not to interrupt.
Yeah, we've got Billy D. Williams as the bartender. He's got a name. It's Lester. I don't really know if we hear it often enough for that to matter.
Not really.
Really just know that he's the bartender.
I think you see the sign more than you actually hear him say it.
Which means we don't even technically know that has to be his name, right? How many bartenders work at places that they don't own? Plenty.
That's a good point.
Then we got Will Ferrell, like we already said, a younger, well, not young by his age, but young as in his career state. I guess is really the way to go with that. Young
early
Will Ferrell.
Career Will Ferrell.
We got Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
That's great. Not very big.
He's got
role.
two scenes, but they're both great.
Those eyebrows are iconic.
He can't ever get rid of them.
No,
if he were to like suddenly like get like in an accident and get them burned off, his career is over.
The rest of these are going to be smaller. I'm not even going to tell you names. Just know that they're in there. But so we do have like special appearances by most of the cast members of Kids in the Hall, which is a great sketch comedy show. I know you said you've not seen it. You should see it. It's produced by Lorne Michaels. So again, it's a SNL sibling, if you want. It's like a Canadian SNL sibling.
Side project?
No, because it's in no way SNL. It's very, very different type of show. Very different, dude. Like these are like if you want to look at it as in like SNL is like Lorne Michaels' kid, right? Like you're like he's been handcrafted that show since it started. Then think of that as his other kid. It's like the edgy little brother. To SNL. There's no musical guests.
Punk rock.
Yeah, there's no musical guests. They would generally just go straight into sketches. Like there was no like.
Oh, cool. Is that on anything?
Probably I have no idea. It's what helped rise like the beginning early years of Comedy Central.
Sweet,
dude. These are faces you'll recognize. Some of them went on to do SNL. Some of them went on to do other things.
Like Jim Carrey on it?
No, it's Dave Foley, who is the guy from News Radio. He's the main guy. Kevin McDonald, who was the mailman in this.
Yeah.
The wiry-haired
the 70s
guy.
are over, man.
Yeah, that guy. Bruce McCullough, who again, if you saw him, you'd know. And then, god damn, I'm feeling. This is so weird that I didn't plan this.
No, it's fine.
I want everybody. This is for everybody listening. I didn't plan this. Bo can attest. All of these up until the last one have been off the top of my head.
Yeah, he doesn't have Kids in the Hall up on IMDb right now. How many more you got?
There's only one more. That's it. I can't remember his name. Give me a second. Scott Thompson.
Nice.
Is the last guy.
100%. Good job, man.
Yeah, so definitely go see that. Now I need to get off of them. I got way off track on the Kids in
Wrong
the Hall.
show. We
Yeah.
need to go back to the SNL related movie.
Yeah. Now I'll hit a few of the females because
Yep.
again, he is the ladies' man.
He is
the
the ladies'
ladies
man.
are very prevalent in the movie. Of the many that we see, the two most popular, I would say, is Julianne Moore.
Yep.
She's the clown.
Yep. She's Bloopy. Bloopy the clown.
But she went on to be Clarice in, not in Silence of the Lambs, obviously.
Hannibal.
Yeah, and
Right, is that
Hannibal.
one?
Yeah. She was the one who took over the role. And then
She was good. I like that movie.
yeah, it's not a bad movie, and she did pretty good. For someone who had to take over, like
From Jodie Foster.
Yeah,
Fuck
she knew she
those are
was
big
replacing.
shoes.
Yeah, she did all right. And then the only other one I really want to mention is Tiffany Amber Thiessen,
Right. Kelly Kapowski.
looking like a smoke show.
Yes. Oh my God.
All right, guys.
Those are the most important
Those
people.
are the most important people. There
But
are
everyone
other people,
else is valid.
But there are other people, and again, we've been trying to get better about mentioning a lot of these at the beginning, so that way we don't go way off course in the middle of talking about the movie.
I mean, we could just we could just do a credits at the end, right? Just list off people's
People
names.
would stop.
That would be boring as shit.
People
though.
stop listening.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to do this in the way that works because we want you to know people. We don't want to forget people. We love giving people their due.
Yeah,
right?
because
some of these are movies you guys don't watch.
Yeah,
and we want you to
and
know
we want
who was in them.
people to know
We
that
want
these
you to
guys
know-
did this, and it's awesome.
And sometimes they did great roles that you just don't pay
Don't know
attention to.
about.
That is also why we always tell you don't come at us if we forget people because you hear us. We're trying our best.
Yeah, we're trying our best,
But
man.
we can't spend all day here. Let's get into the movie itself. I
Yep.
think we are definitely
into
at
this
a point where we
into
can
this
do
classic,
that.
this classic fucking movie.
That's what I was one of the things I was gonna mention earlier is that this movie somehow, again, it wasn't big with the mainstream, and that's fine. But usually a movie like this would
get
then
like a
end up
cult
being a cult following. This movie doesn't even have
no
that.
one talks about it at all.
It's not in the zeitgeist,
It's
as people
dumb.
would say. Yeah,
I
don't know.
protest vehemently.
Now, I will point out one thing that you would say when you watch a movie like this, right?
Yeah.
It's maybe the modern day crowd is who they're super afraid of offending and not wanting to make it for.
Yeah, probably.
Like the Gen Z and younger, right?
Yeah.
One of my nibblings, and that's a word, everybody, I will let you look it up yourselves, watch this movie, and they laughed through all of it. They watched it after I went to bed. We left the room.
So it wasn't even just oh, we don't want to.
Yeah, it wasn't even to. Yeah,
we don't want
just
to
like
make Uncle Shane mad.
It wasn't just to pacify me.
Right.
Yeah, like they genuinely wanted to watch this.
They're gonna show their friends now. They are.
Well, and that's why we do this too.
Exactly. We want everybody to show your friends.
We're trying to show
everything
you,
we talk about.
We're trying to show you the things we love,
even the stuff that we say is bad.
Well, even
go
the stuff
watch that too.
Even when we know it's dumb, we know that it's good dumb.
It's good dumb. It's fun dumb. Dumb is fun sometimes.
As of yet, I don't think we've done a movie that we actually just don't like.
Yeah, I don't think that's
we might have
yet.
done movies where we're like, look, I don't like things about this movie, but overall, it's a good.
Yeah, it's overall a good movie. Even the one that I was convinced the Home for the Holidays. I was convinced I was not going to like that movie.
It was good.
It was really good. So
sometimes you need that in your life.
Yeah, sometimes you get surprised.
All right, we got off track again. So this movie starts right away. There's no opening music.
No, it's just like kind of radio announcer talking, right?
Well, it's the guy who's on before
the guy
Leon.
Before
we
Leon.
quickly find out.
Money Mike or something like that.
Well, and that this is a financial radio station. Did you notice that?
Yeah, because he's talking about like the stock and everything.
Well, when he closes out, he even says this is WRIX News and Financial Network.
No, I missed that part.
How did Leon get a job here?
They needed somebody to fill that 2 a.m. spot, man.
That is the thing. It is overnight. It's nobody wants this. And what would you put on? That's if you're doing financial shit, that's the part of the night where it almost doesn't matter because you're like an hour away from the new numbers coming out or something, right? So I understand why it's not a. But still, Leon?
Yeah, really? How'd this guy get here?
But yeah, we're hearing him. He's closing out his radio his shift on the radio.
He's doing his like outro, and Leon is going around and like changing the set around him,
getting everything ready. I mean, and it's not just Leon. Did you notice you could see the red coat? So it was definitely supposed to be Julie.
Oh,
too.
Julie's helping him to do shit. They're just in there. They're like in the middle of him talking, and he's having to like get up out of his chair and shit. And they're putting up candles and lighting incense and pouring the Courvoisier,
getting everything ready.
I loved his chair. chair. He just kicks dude out of the way and rolls up this big purple hand chair. I want this thing.
Well, and let's take a moment to talk about this. He lights incense and the craziest candle, dude. Like, I'm telling you right now, every candle you see in this movie looks straight up like looks like it came out of Spencer's Gifts.
The set designer just went and raided Spencer's.
It is like a neon color with other colors that it'll melt into to leave a trippy colored wax. And I get it. It's supposed to, they were like, we need 70s. But they still look weird. They look almost out of place.
I like the pyramid one that he lights in the beginning. I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool.
It's the most tame.
Yeah, but the rest of like
they
the
get wilder
like later in his
boat,
dude, there's some crazy ones in there.
Yeah, so like you said, he's got his Courvoisier. Hence why we're drinking our Courvoisier. He drinks his neat. We're drinking ours neat.
That's how I usually drink my booze. And side note, so far.
As soon as the other guy's out, he starts his stuff up. And you quickly see that despite his offensive nature, he must be good at his job. Yeah. He must be good. People listen.
He has a smooth way of talking.
Phone board
immediately starts lighting
lit up.
He's like, he does his little intro. How I am the ladies' man. The phones are lighting up. Let's take a call.
It's full.
Yep.
Lots of people. All of them for 2 o'clock in the morning. Lots of people trying to call sleep. I guess maybe the people who aren't sleeping are the people who might listen to something like this.
Have some problem they need to talk about.
So I guess maybe that pans out. We get a quick scene where we see how he handles a couple of phone calls, plus how his producer handles things. She is definitely, I guess, unbeknownst to him. Like, maybe he knows and he just doesn't realize how serious it is. But she fields a lot of complaints. So what we can assume is now half of the board that's lit up
are going to be complaints.
Are just complaints.
And like
about
maybe like 2 or 3 are actual questions.
And she just forwards only the people who have a question to him. But he somehow just still thinks he's the shit.
Yep. I'm helping people.
Well, he's got himself a PhD in Tang.
In Tang, as it were.
He's got no other qualifications. I love when he says that.
I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist.
I'm not qualified in any kind of way like that.
I have slept with many fine ladies, so it does make me kind of an expert. It's like, can't argue with that.
Just to paint a picture for you in case you didn't ever see the skit, so that way you have like a brief idea, right?
Of what the skit was.
Yeah, and of the kind of things that he might say. My favorite one, as we're going for this little intro moment here, is... No, I definitely know chlamydia is a soup. I see it on the store shelves.
I don't care if you're a doctor. I'm not arguing with you about this.
When you cut to the producer, when you cut to Julie, apparently before the chlamydia statement, he said clam soup was the thing that is a venereal disease, and chlamydia is the name of the soup.
So you got it mixed up.
All of this is just to, again, set up for us the wildness that is his call-in radio
and no matter
station.
what anybody says when they call in, it's always like, oh, that's great. Oh, that's cool.
Say what you want about Leon Phelps.
Yeah.
He is a very positive guy.
Yeah. You can tell him the worst shit and he's going to be like, oh, well, that's okay. That's cool.
And he's going to try to cheer you up.
Right.
If you're having a bad day, he is definitely the uplifting kind of guy.
What's it, the lady? She's like, I'm really shy. He's like, oh, what you do is you go down to the bowling alley or the bus stop with no underpants on. See, you'd be real surprised how many times men will approach you when you ain't got no underpants on. I know I would.
It's great.
It's awesome.
That immediately slides into our right now mysterious narrator. I just say that because it does. It pays off in a moment.
It's a very familiar, pleasing, deep voice.
And he's telling us that Leon Phelps started out life as an orphan, as one of the literally orphan on a stoop.
On a stoop. He just opens it up and it's fucking Hugh Hefner from Playboy.
Not really Hugh Hefner, but it's definitely supposed to be a Hugh Hefner substitute.
Yeah.
Right? He's a
Wishless
stand-in.
Hugh Hefner.
Yeah. He can't be Hugh Hefner because this guy has Leon was going to be his heir apparent.
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner has male sons.
That's true.
That's the only reason. I'm literally splitting the most hairs.
They're clearly Playboy bunnies.
They're Playboy bunnies. They're definitely saying he is the Playboy. He lives in a life where they're always around taking care. He makes sure that Leon learns all the greatest things in life, like stereo equipment and how to talk to women.
The essentials.
It sets up for us that Leon was going to inherit. They tell us Leon was going to inherit all of it. All of this was going to be his. The only thing he couldn't do, the one thing is off limits.
There's always
the man's woman. Any other woman was fine.
Yep.
One woman.
She smiled at him. It's her fault.
On top of that, I'll point out that much like we see Leon, the rest of the movie is completely oblivious to everything. I feel like he was oblivious to this because when the dude walks in the like flashback,
Yeah, and he gives him the thumbs up,
like he's like,
"Yo."
I'm just doing what you taught me, Dad.
Yeah.
Right? Like I totally don't think he wasn't doing it maliciously. He
No.
never does it maliciously.
No,
In
he's not.
fact-
He's a non-threatening hound dog.
Well, I'll admit that major plot of the movie is the fact that he is indeed. He's not cheating. He's
No.
not in a relationship, but
No.
he is indeed
Giving these,
facilitating cheating,
yeah,
and he should be more apparent of the situation.
but he's not.
I'm sure they all have rings on. But so yeah, he gets thrown out. We'll get back on the topic here.
Yeah, he gets thrown out of the Playboy Mansion,
Cast aside, cast asunder from his
into the rain.
his possible royal
The king has been
life that he was
dethroned,
gonna
right?
have. Yeah, and that leads him to the life that he's gonna have now as
Yeah.
the ladies' man, as it were. And then we see him walk into his favorite local shithole bar just to find out that's who our narrator was.
Our narrator,
our bartender, our
is the
bar
bartender,
owner,
and it's motherfucking Billy D. Williams
playing Lester. We don't hear his name that many times. We hear it more in that's the name of the bar.
I love this narration bit. This is a good thing. Like he's
It
narrating.
happens a couple of times.
He's narrating to us, but then they'll cut into the scene, and Leon is always like, "What the hell are you talking to?" or something
And
like
he's
that.
just
He's like,
like,
"Hey
"Aw."
man, I'm trying to talk right
He's
now."
like, he said, "Who are you even telling this to?
Right?
There's only 6 people in this bar,
They're the only people who are ever
and they're
here.
always here."
He's like, "Well, maybe somebody don't know who you is."
Yeah, I don't think so.
He's like, "No, that ain't possible." It was a good way to do the narrator thing.
We see that the bar is full of people that love again, like this
Yeah.
is part of why he can have this self-inflated idea of himself.
Yeah, these
He's in
people
a
love
bar
him.
where these people are like, no, he is.
He's the coolest guy in town.
Saved my 2nd and 4th marriages.
Yep.
I love Scrap Iron.
I love, dude, that's a cool nickname too. I want to be called Scrap Iron. Can we start that? I'll be Scrap Iron. It's my
Yeah.
gimmick name. Right?
So because he was there, he's kind of defending his behavior on the radio to everybody. What's weird is they set this scene up, right? Like maybe it's the producer's first time there.
yeah, but they've been there for like 2 years.
But yeah, well, literally, as you're watching the scene happen, and you're thinking like, "Oh, that's why it's going on like this, right?"
yeah,
Maybe she doesn't know all of these people. Then you quickly see that she does, and you're like, "So then, why was Scrap Iron? She's had 2 years. You think she
Yeah.
doesn't know that he saved the 2nd and 4th
I'm
marriages?"
sure you've told him that story before, Scrap.
Right? The other thing I want to point out that's weird about this movie is we never get told who was working in radio first. Was she already a producer and thought he'd make a great personality? Was he already working in radio and thought, hey,
She'd
maybe
be a
she
good
could be
producer?
a good producer for me? Because
Or were they both just like, hey, let's go try and be
this
in radio
together
at the same
because
time?
we again, like we said, we immediately go from this moment where they're in the bar and it seems like she's being introduced to
Yeah,
the
we were
people,
gonna
but
get,
she
like-
does. We then get told by Billy D 2 years ago
Yeah, 2
is
years
when
ago,
she first
she
started
ran in
coming
here.
here and she met everybody, including Leon himself, and that's when their dynamic duo started. But he doesn't tell us about work.
No, she just runs in a wedding dress. We don't even really get an explanation
never
on
get-
that. We don't find out until like later in the movie that she was the one who got dumped, and that's why she was running in the red wedding dress.
Yes, it's
Nothing gets explained in this scene. It's just she runs in the dress, sits down, and Leon tries to hit on
yeah,
her.
and that in 2 years.
Yep,
Those are the
2
only
years.
piece of real information that are told to us.
That's it.
Is your daddy a butcher?
Because it looks like somebody stole 2 big ass hams and put
looks
them in the back of their dress.
It looks like someone shoved 2 fine ass hams into the back of that dress.
She laughed though.
I mean, no, because
It is funny.
It's funny because most of the girls think that he's not being serious, but he is.
But he is.
Like, he genuinely thought that was a good pickup line. She was just like, he's coming at me with the worst
Yeah.
to be funny.
But he's dead serious.
This-
That's how his charm works.
Tends to be how it works for him.
And he's very non-threatening. Like, he says these outlandish shit, but he at no point comes across as like creepy pervert when he says it.
Even
It's
in-
always in a joking, lighthearted manner.
So the beginning starts really weird with the way it flows.
Yeah.
Because again, we got that 2-second, 2-year flashback
Yep.
that immediately cuts right back into present day where Leon spots the hot chick at the bar.
Yep. And we get his little play-by-play on how he's going to go pick her up.
His play-by-play sounds exactly like a dude who got tossed out from a smooth talker at 17.
Yeah.
Like, he learned the very first step, right?
Yep.
He walks up to her and is smooth. Other than what he actually says.
Actually asks
How
her.
he says it, this is my favorite line in
Right.
the movie. me. Can I buy you a fish sandwich? I quoted that so much when this movie came out.
If you talk to a chick and you say that to her and she knows what you're talking about.
Oh, it's a keeper.
Oh, it's a keeper.
But everything else he says after that was really smooth, right? Like in his head. Like he was like, this is gonna be good. But then he quickly devolves from smoothness to weirdness to straight up like, I'm just gonna drop trout.
I'm just gonna show her my
drop
dick.
trout. And that's gonna
chorus, win. And it glows with its mighty aura of
and so like I said, again, like I can totally buy that he was like somewhere between the ages of 15 and 17 when he got thrown out, right?
Yep.
Like he's stuck.
He didn't know
at that age. He didn't know how to close the deal.
Right.
He knew how to start it, and then he just goes into like 14-year-old pervert.
Yep.
Right. Like
just jumps right into it. Like, want to see my cock?
And then, but then that's the moment where you start to be like, how does it work out for him? How does it? How is he the ladies' man?
This is a question that gets asked a lot in this movie.
But then we see what actually happens, right? He walks up to her and she instantly just says, whatever, come with me.
My husband's not home. Let's go.
And so this is what I'll posit to you.
He even asks her, he's like, so you don't want a fish sandwich?
So I'll even posit to you from the very beginning, they are trying to set up to us that yes, he has indeed slept with lots of women.
All kinds.
But they are always women like this, right? They are women that are like,
fed up.
They're not, they don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever dude is going to be the dude.
Yep,
because she's looking for, it's for a reason. It's not for the dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's not because he's the ladies' man. It's because somehow he's had a sixth sense for being the dude who shows up right when a woman's like, next guy that walks into this bar,
I am going to jump right on him. Yep.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that ever happens.
That's all we see.
Yeah.
We don't see him actually smoothly pick up anybody.
Not really.
Except for maybe
the clown.
Well, I think she was just Randy.
I guess, but that's the only one where he doesn't have it's not like she just kind of jumps him.
But isn't that what we just said?
Yeah, I guess. Just disproves my whole point. That's true.
We're doing it. We're both doing it left and right. We're just knocking ourselves out left and right. We're just like, God damn it, we're wrong. No, don't listen to us.
Yeah, we're stupid. Don't listen to us. No, wait, hang on.
Man, this Courvoisier
listening to
this
us.
Courvoisier is kicking hard, and it definitely is making our intelligence drop fast. Maybe that's Leon's problem.
There it is. He needs to switch booze.
Look, it took us a while to get there, but we finally we made a reasonable judgment.
He needs to switch over to a nice scotch.
Something else that's
something highbrow, right?
Something that's not dumbing him down. But yeah, so once he started hitting on the woman and get taken out, Julie left. Julie was like,
"That's my cue. Yeah, I know what's about to happen.
Never wants to be there for that.
She's not that girl.
Doesn't matter.
She's just his
she's just
friend.
a friend. Although you can tell she seems like she's upset. Billy D even gives us already like the knowing like glance of the camera.
Yeah,
this is one of those movies where Billy D breaks the fourth wall because he's our narrator, but he still tries to do it sly, right? Like it's usually him not on screen, and if he does pop on screen, they find a way to like slide it into him not talking to us, right?
Yep.
Like someone else, like again, like you said, when Leon heard him talking,
right? Like, who are you
finishing
talking to
us, he was like, "Oh no.
Oh, I'm talking to somebody who might not know who you are."
And so it's done really well. But yeah, Billy D is already kind of giving us that look of like, you guys see what's going on here, right? Here.
You know how this story is going to go.
Leon's a moron.
Can't see what's right in front of his face.
Already from they wanted us to know that.
Yep.
But so Leon he goes home with her.
And we cut to another one of those guys. I've seen this dude in so much shit. Oh, the husband, Barney.
Lee Evans, that's his name. Yeah, Lee Evans. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. He is definitely funny. He's a very funny guy.
I love this guy.
We quickly realize he is the man who is being jilted. By the woman. Yeah, by the woman. Well, no, because he'd be in the...
Oh, yeah, he'd be in there enjoying it.
He'd be inside for that.
That's right.
So it's not that.
Not that.
He's jilted. He's...
There you go. Fucked over.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Well, but this scene plays out so fucking crazy, right? Like, so he comes home, goes to open the door, but it's got chain lock on, so he can't get in. He yells to his wife, and she actually answers.
Yeah. And starts trying to give him this BS story about, like, the closet and shit while she's on...
But was it BS? I don't even know if it's BS. Was she just telling him the story?
Why was what she did earlier that day?
Why was this what was being talked about? Why did she think she was going to get away with this?
She just drops it, like, halfway through and just starts just being like, oh yes, oh my god.
I just don't. Well, because by that point he had already started.
Yeah,
he just flat out was
You
asking.
know, you got a dude in there.
But yeah, it was so random because I'm just like, how is this supposed to end? Like there was no way it was ending where he wasn't knowing.
Why'd you keep going? As soon as the door opened, you should have been like, "Fuck, get the fuck out of here!"
No, so like I said, one of the things that maybe might have put this movie down, is the fact that it does have a lot of cheating and spousal,
which is not cool.
It is played out. I mean, again, the way the scene plays out is so comical. It's to make sure you understand this isn't real.
Yeah,
because in the real world, emotions would have been very different for everybody involved.
Leon's getting shot while he tries to go out the window.
Very lighthearted. Even once the dude breaks through the door, it's very comical. He hits the physical comedy extra hard.
It's fucking good.
He runs into the room just in time to see Leon because he's definitely had his fair share of this.
He's experienced. He's done this before. He zip lines down the clothesline
outside. The only thing he sees as he runs to the window and looks is Leon's ass bare naked as he's running down the street.
He's got a tattoo.
Have a nice day.
Big smiley face
sticking out his tongue.
Yep.
What a fuck you.
Right. Just
what a fuck. That's the last thing you see
after some guy just bangs your wife is just to have a nice day running down the fucking street.
You can assume that this has happened many times from how slickly he goes, right? But we do very soon find out that, yes, not only has this generally happened, but many of them, the last thing they see is the tattoo. In the studio the next night. That was such a hard cut. It was so weird.
We're just automatically right back into the studio.
It's ass shot Leon's face studio next night, right? And by chance,
Barney
the caller is
calling
Barney.
the show. And I feel bad. He's like completely trashed his whole apartment. He's like just like leaned on the wall.
I don't even understand why he's doing that. Dude. Like that was intense. Like
he has to make it clean.
But that's not clean. Did you see it? Did you see the state of that place?
It must be removed.
It looked like hobos lived there.
He started with like a brush and bleach, but that wasn't enough. He had to like tear the wallpaper completely off.
It's been less than 24 hours and it looks like that was a hobo camp.
Looked like an abandoned building.
But so he's talking to him, he's trying to get advice, and at first he's like,
yeah,
Leon being true Leon is like, I don't understand the problem. Sounds like a frisky night, if you ask me.
Sounds like you had a good time.
Because Leon was like, oh, the devil's threesome. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Sounds like a good. So she was just surprising you. I gotcha. And he's like, no, I didn't want that.
I just kind of walked in on it.
Well, he says, I saw this guy
a tattoo
on it. He starts to say, he says, Smiley, and before he can finish, Leon cuts him off.
Well, we're gonna go to a break right now and
push some buttons.
Kind of like, get the fuck out of here, play some music.
But what's your favorite hole?
But when we get back, we're gonna do a poll. What is your favorite hole?
And on that note, he loses it a little bit, right? Like
poor
Barney is just he ties the noose. Again, this is probably one of those things.
It's a little dark.
It's quick and it flashes through, but I can see why a lot of people might have gotten upset about it.
Yeah, I get it.
And we're not going to use the words because
there's a chair, there's a rope,
a ceiling fan,
some things happen, but he does end up just kind of.
But it doesn't work, so it doesn't matter.
He crotches himself on the chair and busts his balls and knocks over the TV, which
turns on the remote. He steps on the remote, turns it on. It happens to be porn.
Just happens to be porn.
I guess maybe it's what was on the TV for the night before with Leon and the
that little pregame.
Nice. Has to be, right? For that to be the thing that he instantly turned.
Man.
Worst timing in the world. His wife walks in.
Okay.
Right after he had pulled his pants down.
Why? I get you busted your nuts, but why did you have to take your pants off to rub them?
Maybe he was wearing tidy whities, so he needed the room for the hand massage, right? To actually help.
I didn't understand why he had to take his pants off, man. I've been kicked in the balls. I didn't have to take my pants off to hold them.
Now you know. Maybe he had a different problem.
His balls are bigger than mine. That's what it is.
Well, certainly after
they are now.
After taking a beating like that, dude.
Right? Jeez.
Back to on topic here. Though. So his wife walks in. He's bare ass. Looks like he's just jerking it hard.
Freaky jerking it. Got the noose around his neck, the porn going. Everything's all trash.
Yes, exactly. It looks like he's got the weirdest kind of kink going on.
Yeah, and she's just like, nope, I'm out. And he tries to go after her and just falls.
Again,
poor guy.
Great with the physical.
The physical comedy is great out of that guy.
We hard cut again to hours later because it's the end of. Well, I think it's still the same radio radio show,
But
it's the end of it, so it's still like hours later.
Yeah.
Right, with no notice of how much time, and to a moment in time, to a thing that has no reference to anything that's happened in the movie. Right, because now we find out that despite the fact that it looks like he is doing really well.
Yeah,
because his phone board lights up.
Yep.
People are actually calling. There's interaction for a 2 o'clock in the morning radio show.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
People are listening, obviously.
We do find out that all of those complaints that the producer was holding up do in fact matter, and do in fact add up and are his downfall.
Yeah,
he's got one too many, or the last one was too big. They don't really specify. But because of the complaints, he's now going to get fired. When Leon hears this from the producer, he acts like it's a joke. He's like, my buddy, this was Eugene Levy coming in, Mr. Kent.
Mr.
Right?
Kent, the station manager. And he's like,
he's my buddy. He's not.
He ratted him out to the FCC, and the son of a bitch.
He's like, he's not gonna.
Oh, he just gets a little mad sometimes. Don't worry about it.
He's not gonna do anything to me. We're
fine.
Okay.
It'll be all good. And I got this little poem I want to read on the air. Right? This is this poem, isn't it?
Yeah, like you said, the whole reason they're there is because Mr. Kent, the owner of the radio station, won't do it.
Yep.
Obviously, it's a woman, we get told. So we can assume...
Because he's like, I don't see what she sees in
We can assume we know. We know.
He's the ladies' man.
Yeah. But so he was like, so I called in the complaints. I called them in to tip them off about the complaints myself.
Fine, and you're done.
And so he got told by Julie, like, look, we can't.
Yeah, and
this is our jobs. He's like, look, okay, that's fine. I know what to do.
Play a little music.
You play some soft music for me. Don't let no more calls through. I've got this.
I'm just going to do my sign-off.
He grabs this paper off like he's had it in his pocket. He's been waiting to do this. He thought this was the breaking case of emergency.
Right. This was the break glass part.
Right.
Like,
this was what he did.
I got this. This is the best thing. He thought
this was the thing that was going to save the day. And it's this poem, and it starts off sweet.
It starts off so great, dude. It's so good. And like it cuts to all the people, and they're all like cuddling and starting to kiss and
kind of like his vision earlier. It starts off really good.
Really good.
Right? And then it kind of devolves into gibberish.
And then at the end
and then it gets sexual. Just like his vision, dude.
And don't forget, hold your lover close and then do it in the butt. And then like my favorite was the old man. He just like smacks the stereo.
Well, do it in the butt. And then since he was reading a personal poem, he then says, Leon Phelps.
By Leon Phelps. Thank you and good night, ladies and gentlemen.
And again, completely oblivious. Just like 17-year-old Leon. This is a thumbs up from Leon, smiling like I did it right.
It's all good, right?
He's looking at Julie. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Fired.
Immediately.
We don't even get a cut to hear that he's fired. No. We just see him wasted because he's so drunk
because he got fired.
Yeah. And Julie's being the responsible one,
taking
care of him
to his
houseboat, the Skanktuary.
The Skanktuary. Yeah, this is where all the magic happens.
Well, I love the first time right now we're in the boat. We don't actually get to see it, but later we actually see it's on the boat.
It says a little sign says Skanktuary.
Well, it's it's not the SS Minnow. This is the Skank. There's no SS.
No, it's just the Skanktuary.
The Skanktuary. It is the actual call name of the boat.
Full of
open the door,
gaudy 70s tat. It's awesome.
You open the door and this is fucking Snodgrass. Can't remember his fake name. You know what I'm saying? It's the older brother, right?
Yeah, the older brother.
It's his room, right?
It's his room. It's totally his room from 70s. Spirit of 76. Yeah. There it is. I got it.
Yeah, it is 100% totally like that room, right? Like, I mean, it's total. But it's like the hustle.
On a houseboat. It's got the same. I think it has the same fucking little.
It's definitely
the
70s wood paneling.
Yeah, it's so awesome. It's got a waterbed on a boat.
It's got a titty remote controller.
I didn't see that.
That's what she picks up.
Oh, is that what it was? I didn't know it was a remote control. I thought it was just a toy.
No, it was a remote control, and then you flip the top, and that's the power buttons.
Oh, and all the stuff came up out of the bed and shit. Yeah. Oh, I thought he pushed a button.
No, she did it.
Damn it. This is what happens when you're writing notes.
It was very crazy, very wild. He's drunk. He's passed out basically already.
He's still trying to make moves, man. But she's just like laughing it off. Like, no, man, you ain't getting none tonight.
He half sobers up when she pushes the button to raise the bar. Like it woke something up in him and he was like, whoa. Because when the bar raises up, the way it sat normally, the liquor part was always visible.
Yeah, you
right?
could see the booze.
But then when it raised up to show what should be more liquor for any normal person.
Like you would keep the really good shit here.
It raises up and he's got sex sex gels and
body
massage
oils
lotions and
probably toys, but they're not in camera.
yeah, it's a very different thing. But that's what excited him. That's what woke
holds
him
up
up.
the fuzzy handcuffs.
She goes, "Where do you even buy most of this stuff?"
You know, Kmart,
Walmart mostly. This boat though does reinforce the fact that he was raised by like a Hugh Hefner type.
like a Hugh Hefner
Right,
type.
because this straight up looks like if you would have told me that in the 70s there was a Playboy cruise,
Yeah.
this is what I would tell you.
Definitely what one of the
this is what the decor looked like.
Yep, this is definitely one of the suites on that boat.
But yeah, you're right. He at this point is when he starts to still try to hook up with her. He starts to, and as soon as he starts trying to hit on her, she again, much like earlier, she's like, "That's my call.
Yep,
deuces.
I'm going home."
That was never the intention here.
She was starting to like help him get like his shit off, and she took one shoe off, and he's like, "You trying to seduce me?" She just drops his foot like, "Nope, that is not at all what happens."
On that note, I am definitely leaving.
Yep.
Now we get a hard cut. This time though, we see Barney going crazy on the internet, right?
Yeah,
early internet.
He's trying to find
finding like chat rooms and
he's like trying to
discussion
find
boards.
people like, it's like who's
smiling ass.
Smiling ass tattoo. Man with smiling ass tattoo. Victims of smiling ass.
He stumbles on to the VSA.
Ah, the victims of the smiling ass. A vigilante group that will have their revenge.
Super crazy to think about, like for that era, right? Like a group of people. It's very dark web in the creepiest kind of way too, right? Like, I mean, because I don't know about you, but in like 2000s, if I'd have stumbled onto a group of people like that, I'd have been like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I definitely know it's sinister.
Yep, I'm going to leave this website and hope the FBI never looks through my computer.
And finds out that I was here, because I wasn't.
I wasn't part of this. I don't know what these fucking guys were doing. I don't know who smiling ass is or why they want revenge on it.
But I will nope my way away from this whole situation.
Yep, but he's all intrigued. He's like, oh,
well, yeah,
they're like me. There's others. That's another hard cut. It just cuts to them doing like going to interviews.
Yeah. Well, this one's at least pseudo connected because the last thing she says the night before was that they needed to be looking for tomorrow's new job looking.
Yeah, the job.
So there's at least the fact that we transitioned into the Barney moment for 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's really short.
Into it is weird. Yeah,
that scene could have been after he hung up on the phone with him. He
could have made all of these together, right?
Yeah.
Like a longer Barney scene and then a longer joined scene of this.
Yep.
Instead of separating them the way he separated them.
Yep, very true. That would have been better.
That's more than the thing.
That's all editing.
And it makes the cuts feel harder because of that.
Yeah.
Because we're disjointedly
back and forth.
Yeah. So now's the part where we get to what in a lot of movies would have been a montage, but this movie was already too short, so they couldn't montage it. Which is the part where they're trying to find a new place to work. So we get to see like a slightly longer cuts for every job than you might normally see.
He has a tape.
Well, yeah, the very first job, it's funny. It's an actual popular radio station.
It's one of the big
ones.
It would
technically be a move up for them.
Yeah,
right?
it would.
Because before they were on a financial
station.
This is at least like a station people are listening to all day, and like it might get them extra listeners. Dude's very excited. He's like, I've never listened to your stuff, but I know people are very into your show. Yeah, he was very into him. But then he mentioned Celine Dion.
I have no idea who that is.
The guy was just like, what?
What? I don't know. How the hell do you not know? Especially after Titanic, everybody knew who the fuck that bitch was.
But he's like, he says, I've heard a lot about you from people. People know who you are, so that's always a good sign.
I got tape here. You can listen to the show and stuff.
And it is horrible.
It's all about like doing it in the butt.
It's doing it in the butt. I think I got a few.
Did you write any of it down?
I got a few of them.
Doing it doggy style.
Full doggy style, then ball sacks, and then more butt stuff. This is the only part that goes real quick. They get thrown out the first one, then we can see another one or two places where it's ball sack, and then this word.
More doggy stuff.
But then they get tossed out from the last one, and Julie straight up says, "Just
give me the tape." And she's just like tearing the fucking.
That's the only tape I have. Now, my only problem with this is, as we established earlier, we don't know how long Julie's been his producer. Couldn't be more than 2 years. We know that much.
Yeah.
But she's at least been his producer for a year.
Yeah.
Right? We can all agree on that, yeah?
At least a year.
She sat through a lot of his shows. What the hell did she think a tape reel of a show would be? Why is she surprised? Other than talks of butts and ball sacks.
I didn't think of that. Why the fuck is she so goddamn surprised about it?
That's the only thing that the reel could have been.
Yeah. She's right there. She listens to the fucking show. It shouldn't be a shock. You have no right to be fucking mad. You shouldn't have gave him the tape. Because he don't know how to make that tape. She had to make the tape for him.
Yeah. Sorry, I realized earlier I was wrong. There are 5 kids in the hall because the Praise Jesus Together guy is one of the kids in the hall too. This is what I'm saying. Dude,
they're all in this movie.
I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure everybody but Dave Foley. Dave Foley's the only one that's not the news radio guy. Oh no, Scott's not there either. Scott Thompson. The other 3 are here. All in one little tight spot here though. Really, if you think about it, because the mailman.
Yeah, he's coming up here in a minute, isn't he?
All right. After the brief moment there, we get another long portion of job interview, much like the first one with the Celine Dion stuff. This time though,
it's for
no tape.
No tape.
So we don't got to worry about the reel messing it up for him.
Yeah.
We don't see what it's for
not yet
until the end. We just see what looks like successful interview.
Yeah, they're going to get a job. Hell yeah, they're going to be on the radio.
It's not going to be permanent.
It's a morning show even.
Yeah, they're filling in because someone had to leave. There's no guarantee that this is a permanent spot, but they can try, and if it works, they'll keep them on. And then as he stands up and says, "That's great, I'm glad we'll have you," we see the sign behind him. It's the PJTR. Did you catch what that was all for?
It's some Christian radio network. I didn't.
Praise Jesus Together Radio.
The perfect place for Leon.
Dude, like even when they were getting hired, Julie was looking nervous. Yeah. She was eyeballing the fuck out of Leon. Like, I'm not...
Say a word.
Look, if we're going to play this game of chicken, we're going to play this game of chicken. I won't be the one to tell him, but you're going to be okay with this? And then we see them sitting in the radio station together.
Yep, doing his first show.
He is nervous as fuck. Because he's worried. He's trying. I will at least give him credit. He wants to be on his best behavior.
He really does.
He really, really does.
He is sweating with the effort.
This nun, I can't believe that.
She's not helping him at all.
Look, I understand that he was a fill-in. They're like substitute hosts for whatever.
Yeah, because somebody's got an interview.
But if you're a substitute host, you don't do the interview.
That's true. You shouldn't have had him interview the nun.
The dude would have called this nun and said, "Look, we can't do it today.
The regular guy's not here."
Yeah, you would not have still let someone who doesn't know her, had no questions prepared.
Yeah, if I was the nun, I would have been like, "I'm not interviewing this.
I'm not what we letting him interview me." Yeah,
I don't know this asshole.
But no, we get this nun, and he has to interview this nun. And you're right, she does not make it easy on him. I do have these. I have all of these.
You have all of these.
I have every questionable sex thing that she says. She immediately starts it up by saying that she is going to be taking a missionary position in Bangkok, where she will be taking it all in. It's awful hot and steamy there.
Oh, yeah.
You ever been down the Yellow River?
Once in the 80s, but I didn't like it.
You love the joys of a missionary position?
I mean, it's kind of fun, but...
So, yes, she hits a lot of really dirty sexual things in a very short amount of time.
Worse for him.
He's getting worked up by it.
It's
like a drug. You mean it's like somebody just waved the back in front of him?
And he just starts going off into this story about, like, these 2 twins and shit.
Well, this is my problem, right? Like, he could have done this without getting dirty.
He could have.
All she said is, "Have you ever enjoyed the joys of a missionary position?" He could have answered that in a lot of ways that still meant sex.
Simple, yes.
She wouldn't have known it. But he, instead of just saying, "Yes, I love the many aspects of a missionary position."
Yeah, it's a very versatile, very good position.
There are lots of things he could have done where this still worked, right?
Everybody loves a good missionary.
But no, he hits it dirty.
He jumps into this awful fucking story.
This is one of those moments where like it catches you off guard. Like there are a few in the movie where you're like, "Whoa!" You're like, "Oh, this ain't the SNL skit no more."
Yeah, no, this is why it's rated R.
Yeah, this is a whole new beast right now. And this was definitely, this was one of those moments because he starts telling the raunchiest story.
And he's just like, I guess you could call it kind of a missionary position.
That was my other problem with it. I was like, it wasn't even missionary.
There's something about there's something about like a telescopic pole and like a fucking camera tripod and shit.
So obviously they get fired.
Oh, he gives the nun a heart attack. There's an ambulance showing up.
This is great because no one says it out loud and we don't see that. We just get the implication realization that that's what happened.
Because the nun gasped.
She gasped hard. We know they're fired. They're walking out the building. Ambulance pulls up. Police car pulls up. But they are still walking away. Would the police not have stopped them?
They would have been like, no, come the fuck back here. We have questions. What did you do to this nun?
But no, instead we just can see it all happen in the background. Like the police show up completely. Like that's all. Like the ambulance at least pulls up like while it's like all tight in frame, right? The police though is solidly in the background,
right?
Like, didn't need to be there at all. Totally
the police
extra.
car is like a couple of seconds into the scene. Even it's like, oh, there's a cop car. Even
so,
but Julie's
such a nice
chewing
touch.
his ass out.
Yeah.
We're never gonna work in radio again. This is it.
You messed it up. Well, and she says, well, I mean, I
guess I can call in a favor from my ex, fucking Cyrus.
But I don't. And he was even like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Fuck
Nobody's
that
doing that. Fuck Cyrus. Fuck this.
We're not doing what do you expect? What's our plan? What are we gonna freaking do? And she walks off all pissed off, and he's just like, I'm gonna do what I always do. I will have sex, and then I will wait for something to randomly happen. And then it cuts to him having. He's like, all right, I had sex.
You're missing my favorite part of what he yelled at her, though. He goes, "It will all work out. It will all randomly work out." I just because it always does. I just love that. That's what he yells at her.
This is where we get our mail.
Yes, yeah.
Mailman.
So he does have sex, and he walks out the next morning to get the mail.
And this is the random occurrence that he was waiting for, but not before the mailman gives him shit.
Yes, well, it gives him shit, and we see a few things. We get no setup for this. None. Is this supposed to be a long-standing feud between the two of them? Are they always talking shit to each other like this? Because if not, if this was the first day on the job and that's how he came to you?
Because as soon as he fucking walks up, the mailman's just like, oh, God, fucking
yeah, like
fucking
again, he's like,
guy.
This guy. Yeah, fucking boat guy. I love that fucking boat guy. After our angry, disgruntled mailman walks away, that's the kind of guy who shoots a place up. That's why they call it going postal. But yeah, so then we see Leon going through the mail, right? This was so funny to me. Doctor bill? Into the water.
Gas bill?
Into the water. House rent bill? Into the water. Light bill? All of it. He's just tossing bills.
Boat payment? Into the water. And then he pulls one up and like, ooh.
What's this?
A lady. Gets him a nice little love note from some rich lady he had sex with in a laundromat. And she wants him back. And he's like, this is it.
Literally, not just that she wants him back. She's promising him money.
Oh, yeah.
That's the kicker here.
All the money.
Leon don't care. Women come for Leon all the time.
It's that money.
He's a ladies' man.
My problems are solved. I'm rich now.
Right, that was the thing. He was looking for the random occurrence. This was his random occurrence.
You get a rich lady going to take care of all my problems.
But the only problem, it's just signed.
Sweet thing.
Like Leon has, he says it to himself out loud. Like, I have any idea who that is.
He says that to everybody.
Yeah, well, because we don't see it yet, but later that they have that moment. You're right. Yeah, where Julie is like, well, we just got. I mean, it can't be that many.
How many? She
and
says
then
you're
he
her
immediately
sweet
calls
thing.
like 6 people sweet thing.
All right, in a fucking few seconds and shit while he's eating his pancakes.
At this point, though, even though he has gotten the letter and technically knows that his problems are solved, he still is, at least right now, caring about Julie. This kind of changes later.
A little bit.
Later, he doesn't care if Julie's problems are solved too. But right now, he does. So again, she was still upset. They'd tried every radio station in town, but they really hadn't. There's Cyrus and his tiny peepee.
And his tiny 3-inch peepee. Which the ladies and shit in the fucking behind him pop for. They're like, what the fuck?
Well, that was a small scene too, wasn't it?
It's super small. They're just at the diner and he shows her the note.
We don't go back to that one.
No.
I didn't even notice how weird that one was until I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, I have 3 lines.
Yeah, that's it. That's that whole fucking scene.
Okay.
On to Barney.
I guess so.
On to Barney.
I guess so.
He drives up to the really fancy, like, it looks like a Mason's lodge.
It is definitely some kind of lodge or something. It is our very creepy VSA meeting. I'm sure he told them he was coming. It's not like they got a lot of members, but it's weird that Lance, right? That's his name. Will Ferrell plays Lance. Lance DeLune.
Lance DeLune.
But yeah, it's real weird that Lance opens the door and immediately is like, we know who you are, Barney.
You're one of us.
That was creepy.
Come on in.
That was weird.
It really was.
I would have walked back out the door.
I'm like, yeah, no, this is weird. I'm going to go some skull and bone shit.
All the people start telling us that they were victims. they've all seen the smiling ass. They're telling us the year and when it happened. And but as we go down the line of all these people telling their stories, we finally end, and it's Lance telling us he's the longest, right? It's the hair club for men thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
not only am I
a founder, I'm a member too.
Yeah. I'm one of you.
And so he's like, I'm the person who's been afflicted the longest. We technically don't find that out till later, right?
Yeah.
Like 1990. We do know when it happened to him. We just don't actually hear anybody else give us an earlier date.
Yeah, I don't think so. But there's that one guy. That one guy. It's just like he keeps
multiple times.
It's like
every time you think he's gonna stop, he throws
just
another
keeps
one.
Going.
We hear the most about Lance's though, right? Like happened when he was on the. He was gonna be on the Olympic wrestling team.
Greco-Roman. I'm a master, and I was training so hard with my training partner.
And then he
Brian.
Every time he talks,
it gets super homoerotic.
It's very homoerotic, very homoerotic. Obvious implications.
Really into wrestling.
We can clearly see why his wife maybe
was kind of looking around for other shit, because she's definitely not getting it from him.
She was definitely feeling jealous of Brian.
He doesn't throw me around like he does Brian.
Yeah, feeling jealous of Brian.
Definitely. They're doing more than wrestling.
We can see from some of these guys and what they say.
Oh, they automatically all get like uncomfortable when he starts talking about
not
it
even
every
just
time. There's
him,
like,
but I mean in general, like when they all start talking about their problems,
we
can hear already that they don't hear it, but we can hear why maybe
you
this
guys
happened.
might be the problem.
He's not the bad guy they think. He's just kind of, I mean, he is, but he's not as bad as they all think he is. He's not going out there. He
didn't steal nobody's wives. They came to him.
Yeah, well, and it was never his intention.
Yeah, he wasn't hunting. He wouldn't be like,
he wasn't hunting.
Go in and
he wasn't
marriage.
Hunting for like women with rings, right?
Yeah,
like I mean,
they
that
just happened to be them.
Well, and they happen to usually either come on to him or he just said hello.
And what's he going to do? Say no?
Well, no, because he's a ladies man.
He's a ladies man. Ladies man never says no. We got to take care of the ladies. That's a fun drinking game for this episode. Every time we say ladies.
Before this little meeting wraps up, though, we get this is my favorite thing that Barney says about Leon. He pulls out the pants and he goes, "But wait, guys, I got one more piece of information. He's a clown.
He's a clown because
look at these pants.
Look at these clothes." They're like, "Yeah,
we know about the clothes.
There's a huge pile of them. The clothes never really lead anywhere.
They all look absolutely insane because he wears some
outlandish 70s clothes, man.
But this time they get a bigger clue.
The lighter falls out of the pocket.
Ladies man.
It says ladies man on it. Big clue.
Now they all got something to actually work from.
Right. And it's not hard to find out a, relatively well-known radio personality under that name.
Yeah. Well, we'll get more to that. Again, since this guy jumps all over the place.
Yeah, he does.
We gotta go to where he jumps next. And so he does not jump there. He jumps to us seeing them no longer care about the job hunt. Now they're looking for Sweet Thing.
Yep, that's what he's doing. He's got a map. He's going to send scrap iron off to like Malaysia or something.
I know that we both have already commented and we know that this is jumping all over the place. But again, should we not have just gone ahead and done the Cyrus scene?
Yeah, it should have just went straight into this
and then,
Julie bringing Cyrus in.
Then do some of the women
and then done this.
Okay.
The ordering of events are a little... I kind of hate it when we have to do this. We have to like super analyze shit.
Yeah,
and
we need to stop right now. Yeah. Let's get back onto this. So we're with Leon. He's going on a hunt. He's going for the first woman he thinks is a Sweet Thing. It is not. It is a woman who opens the door and is very angry at him for even talking to her.
Because apparently they hooked up in a bathroom at a Chuck E. Cheese and he never called her back.
But then she almost seems into him until he says that he thinks...
He's like, no, wait, we had sex in a laundromat. That's what you wrote in the letter here. And she's like, motherfucker, what letter?
Yeah, well, and then she quickly is like, I wasn't gonna get back with you anyway. And I was like, I don't know, that conversation in the middle seemed...
Yeah, a little ambiguous there toward that middle bit.
You say what you want.
Until he said the laundromat thing.
Until he was like, this isn't the same person?
Right? Like, you ain't the bitch I'm looking for.
That's when you changed your fucking tune.
And she throws him out and he's just like, ah. And he walks like two doors over.
He walks to the elevator and then looks down at his list and then goes, oh.
oh. It's like 2 doors down from that chick's
He's like,
house.
oh, I can 2 birds, 1 stone.
Right.
Happen to same building. Nice.
Teresa.
Don't you just want to know the story behind that moment?
And then he goes to like the chick at her wedding.
Yes.
And stuff. And he's just like, oh, it ain't you? Oh, okay.
Okay.
I smack her on the ass. She liked that. And then he turns to one of the bridesmaids like, you? Did you write this?
Because they're everywhere, man.
I love that shit. The wedding was my favorite bit.
But now we get the Cyrus
now
scene.
we get Cyrus.
And again, to me, we should have just done Cyrus first, then
this.
put all of these. Because there's more of them later.
Yeah,
so we could have
all together. All of them.
Well, if they were all together, then it would have been a montage, and they would have shortened it, and the movie wouldn't have been long enough. We figured it out.
There it is.
It's still a dumb reason to do it, but I guess it's a reason.
But they had to stretch it out somehow, I guess, because it's only what 100 and.
It's like an hour 20.
An hour and 20. It's not even an hour and a half.
And that's again, there's credits in there.
Quick movie. Everyone should watch.
Yeah, so the Cyrus scene, though, is absolutely one of my favorite, right? So Cyrus is basically like, look, I might be able to hook you up with a job, but then he starts talking some smack to Julie.
Yeah,
Leon's like...
If you want a temp job, there's like this girl who thought she could be a producer and shit, and Leon's like, dude, bitch, don't talk to her that goddamn way.
Leon says, look, I don't know what you thought you were going to do up in my bar.
Yeah, this is my area, motherfucker.
But you weren't going to come up in here and talk to her like that. And Cyrus quickly is like, what's he say? He's like,
don't let the
don't let the smoothness fool you. I'm from the streets. And then Leon hits him with the, used to be from the streets. I'm still from the streets. Sometimes I wake up on them streets.
Sometimes I wake up in the streets, you know? And Cyrus is like, all right, well, let's go the fuck outside, right? And for a half second, you think Leon's going to take him up on it. But then he's like, oh, no, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Let's have like a peace offering. I'm sorry. Like, you like pickled pig's feet? You want to try some pickled pig's feet? Starts the grossest eating competition in movie history. It's so gross.
It ends grosser than most of it. Like, most of it's not that offensive. It's just a bunch of pickled shit.
It's so gross.
A bunch of pickled stuff.
Pickled shit.
I mean, I don't want to eat it, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't bother me that people
so gross.
do. But yeah, it starts with the pickled pig feet. He eats it like it's nothing. He's like, oh, y'all thought I wasn't going to eat this?
Yeah.
Y'all thought I was too good to eat some of this? I was raised up on this stuff. I ain't too good for this stuff. And so then that's when he's like, oh, you want to do some pickled eggs? And even Cyrus says it right then. And that's even before it goes very far. Right. He immediately is just like, we just got to keep eating the pickled shit?
Yeah, two pickled things? We can't have something else?
We can't do something different? That's when he noticed. He looks down. There is literally a menu.
There's a menu.
And it's just all pickled stuff. And it was just like, oh, okay. Then they pull out the prairie oysters.
No.
Did you hear what?
Yes.
You know what that is?
It's nothing good. I don't want to know. Do I want to know?
You know what a Rocky Mountain oyster is?
It's testicles, yes. So these would be sheep testicles?
There you go.
Yummy.
It could still be bull. It all depends on what prairie you're on.
Yeah, I guess so. Prairie dog. Little tiny ones.
It wouldn't be that. I hope.
Little itty bitty.
Those things that were hit the table were big.
Yeah, they were. Jesus Christ, it's so gross. I hate this scene. But Cyrus is like not going to back down from any of it. He's just like, this ain't nothing. Bring it on. Let's keep going. So we bring out the.
But before we go too far, I want to say this. I want to point this out. When they pulled out those testicles, right? As if it's already nasty and it looks nasty. Did you hear Scrap Iron? He said, "Look like chitlins to me."
Look like chitlins to me.
And I was like, no. Like, I don't want to eat either one.
But I know what chitlins look like, and that's not what those look like.
No, those things look so squidgy looking.
They looked like they were just like cartilage. It looked.
Okay, we gotta stop.
We'll throw up. We'll throw up on the fucking podcast.
Then they pull out the spicy hog balls.
Baby, love me some spicy hog balls.
But once they eat the spicy,
Leon's just like, oh, I got 2 here. They're gonna go right in the mouth. Oh,
once they eat the spicy hog balls, though, that's when they start to. Cyrus is like, I'm done. He's like, what else?
That's it. What's left?
I'm looking at the menu. There's nothing.
There's nothing left. I handled your food. You thought I was.
You guys thought I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Fuck all y'all.
And they're like, oh, but we got one more. It's special. It's new. It's ain't even on the menu yet. This was a line too far, dude.
This was so fucking.
I was so disgusted by it. I didn't even write down the fake name they told him, whatever it was. Some kind of gristle poppers or something.
Gristle bits or something like that.
But it's straight poop.
They took human shit and
it's straight poop in a jar.
It's poop in a jar, and this poor bastard ate it.
For a visual reference, it's straight poop in like one of those Lutz pretzel plastic jars, right?
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Cyrus eats it, and they're all
laughing.
They're all just
they're
like,
busting up, and he's just like, "What?
What?
What?
I did it. I ate your damn food.
I
And
did.
it's like,
I passed all your
fucking
tests."
scrap iron, just like, you ate shit. That's exactly what you ate. You ate human shit.
You just ate human feces. That's what you did.
And he gets up, and he's all like, he goes and runs away and shit. I mean, fuck Cyrus, but god damn.
No, that dude. I got problems
That's
with
a
people.
little far. That's a little
Making
far.
someone eat any kind of human excrement, pee, poop, anything.
That's too far.
No.
I know he's a dick.
But yeah,
Maybe beat the shit out of him. Don't make him eat shit. Like,
no one really deserves that.
not for that minor of an
No.
offense.
No. But so now we've officially gotten to the point where they have no radio stations left to work at.
Yep.
Because
Nothing.
the last chance they had was going to be Cyrus.
They just literally fed shit to their last chance.
So that's done. So at this point, the only hope, technically either of them have, is for him to find this woman. And hopefully he's rich enough to take care of Julie too.
Yeah. I guess just like, she's my assistant.
She's my side piece.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy that would just be
Yeah.
upfront about it.
Look, there's enough of Leon to go around for
Right?
both of you
Come
fine
on now.
ladies.
Come on. Don't make me.
You find lady number one, you pay for everything, and you find lady number two.
In case you guys forgot, I
take
can
care of
drop
my
trow
finances.
again to show
Right.
you.
Oh, it sings even when he pulls it out.
Now that you mentioned singing, though, that's a great segue to our next scene because it's the moment where the guys,
My favorite part of the movie.
the VSA,
They're-
show up, all of them,
Roll deep.
They show up.
Big Humvee and everything.
This is like
dude.
A-Team style.
Yeah, dude.
right?
They're
They
ready
roll
to
in
go.
like
they got fucking weapons, shotguns, and all
they
this shit.
jump out of the vehicle and into song.
Yep, Will
into
Ferrell
musical.
rallies them up, and then we start our big Broadway fucking
Well,
song.
this
and
got
dance.
to me so bad because I was like, dude, couldn't we at least have gone like West Side Story? Couldn't we have been like, no,
No, we go full Broadway with this shit, man.
these guys go crazy.
They
They're
had
like,
to show their supreme manliness, and
Did
what
they?
manlier
Oh,
way
so
than
masculine.
to dance
And
and prance your way down the hallway of a radio station, jazz hands and all, baby.
I was trying to say the last guy that did the flip up into the jazz hands.
Oh man, it's so good.
They make their way into the radio station again. This is the first radio station. He's
Yeah.
not worked here.
He doesn't work here for like a week now.
Exactly. The boss upstairs was immediately like, no,
Yeah, no, I fired him
a week
But
ago.
This is his name, and where you can find him. He lives on this houseboat.
He also hangs out at this bar.
Yeah, he even hangs out. At
I
this
was
bar.
like, whoa, dude, like you would get arrested so fast for telling some people this. For telling a gang of people
Armed
with
gang.
weapons.
They have guns.
You would so be arrested when they found out you
Yep.
told someone this. But it's
It's a
okay.
comedy. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. It's all good. We don't gotta worry.
They apologize though. They're like, "Oh, well, sorry we bothered you," and then they all kind of fuck off to the houseboat, right?
Yep. But before we see them on the houseboat, we just see
Leon is
Leon's
still
next guest.
looking. He's still looking.
His next guest, again, like we said, jumps around into weird parts. Could have tied this all together. This is when we see Julianne Moore, full clown.
Full
We
clown.
don't know she's a clown when it first starts. We
Yeah,
just
it just seems like she's like gonna go do a
She's just-
stage
yeah,
performer.
she's doing some kind of
and she's-
stage
and shit. She
performance.
goes to go change.
behind one of those little wardrobe
Right.
things, partitions.
And she's like, "We should have a quickie for old time's sake." And he's like, "I mean, I like that idea." And then
Okay.
she pops out and she's all full fucking clown.
and he's like, I don't think
I
so.
don't think that's a good idea.
But then
now."
she even talks him into it.
she hops up on him and she starts like dry humping him, and she's squeaking her little horn,
Yeah.
just squeak, 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 squeak,
YOLO,
squeak, squeak.
YOLO, I guess.
Hey man, then why not, right? I mean, Julianne Moore, I'd fuck her dressed as a clown. I don't care.
Now's when we slide to the houseboat.
boat?
Yeah, no one's
They're
home.
still singing.
They're-
They are
dude,
singing.
they sing the whole rest of the
going
time.
to the fucking
Yeah.
boat.
One dude comes out clicking the shotgun, busts their way into the houseboat.
There's nobody there. They killed the waterbed though. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
because
The
he
water-
shot the
they
shotgun to blow the door
lock
open. They're looking at it and they're like, oh. For a split second, you can tell they're all kind of like,
Well,
well,
what
that
the
wasn't
fuck-
really my intention.
Yeah, like what the
Wasn't
fuck?
trying to mess his stuff up.
I didn't. He's got some nice stuff. One guy's even like, I mean, it's classy. I like it. You know?
But then Lance pulls out his cigar, lights, and he's like,
Let's torch
well,
it.
we torch it.
Throws
Throws it
it.
down. Boom. boom. I mean, this place goes up.
It goes up so fast. They're just all like
cheap cologne and
body oil
and the booze all have just made this massive napalm like concoction.
This fucking boat is a bomb ready to just explode, and it takes it no time to fucking burn.
And everybody kind of seems like
we may have gone too far.
None of them call it.
No,
but they're all thinking it. You see it on a lot of their faces.
Because they're all just kind of on the shore, just watching the boat burn. Like, we might have gone too far here. Even Barney, he's the one who's got the gun ready to shoot fuckers,
and he's just standing there like,
I didn't mean to mess up his stuff like that. It was kind of a nice boat.
And they roll straight from there over to the bar, right?
Yep, straight to the bar.
Now, did you notice though? I want to say, like, when we see the door open to the bar, it's daylight.
I didn't notice. No,
it was dark split second.
When the boat was burning.
And so I was like, I don't understand how much time or what it is. Well, they're still singing, right?
They sat there all night, watched the boat burn.
That's all I can guess is they watched
in formation
That's all
and
I can
sang
guess.
To the bar.
But yeah, they bust into the bar and they're demanding to know where Leon is
because they're gonna kill him.
Lester's trying to be good, dude. He's yelling because Leon is indeed there.
You're gonna kill Leon.
A guy named Leon Phelps, you say?
I don't know a Leon Phelps that you all want to kill.
And Leon's like,
got you.
Aha,
he's like trying to sneak out and stuff.
It.
And then they say something about his dick being small, and he whips around like, "Hey, my motherfucker, my dick ain't small."
The best part about that is that they play it as the Shaft joke, right? Like it's literally the don't you talk about Shaft, you know, like.
He's a bad. Shut your mouth.
Right. And so they're like, yeah, him and his 3-inch pink.
Man, don't you talk about my dick like that.
That's exactly how it plays.
And then they're like, get him. And he has to run. Yeah. And he jumps on he's on a bus, right? And escapes.
Yep. But they get his little black book. You know, they show it earlier. He's already made the photocopies.
Little. It's a fucking encyclopedia.
He's added like 16 times.
Right. It's got pages falling out of it and post-it notes and shit.
Well, and I don't understand how that was supposed to be in any way helpful for them. Most of these are women he's never gonna. They don't know he's on
their damn names.
Well, and they don't know he's on a mission to go.
Oh yeah,
talk
that's
to
true.
them.
These guys specifically, it helps. Yeah. It doesn't help them at all, does it?
Why would that be helpful to them? Most of these women he never talks to again.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Lance acts like it's the most useful thing in the world.
We've got him now.
You see what I mean?
I mean, the only way that's true is if he opens it to a random page and goes, that's my wife's phone number. Well, no, that's not helpful because he knows. Never mind.
They're all part of the VSA.
That's the whole reason for this.
But yeah, so after this, we see that Leon tries to go to his houseboat. That's
he's like crying on the rowboat. And he's like, what'd I do to deserve this?
And
my
then,
boat.
Much like we've seen every other time something tragic happens to him, he gets wasted.
He just gets shit-faced wasted.
And wakes up on Julie's parents' doorstep.
Porch, and they're like poking him with a stick and
what
shit.
Is this?
And he's just like scratching his ball.
But then we see him inside, and he has sweet talked his. They love him.
Completely won them over.
And you can hear the conversation. He's not being anybody but himself.
Yeah,
he's being perverted.
He's being a charming pervert.
He should notice that Julie is the right woman for him because even her parents think he's great.
She even says it here in a little bit. Like, you need to find somebody whose parents won't kick you off the porch when they find you drunk. Like mine did.
Well, and it's even beyond. They genuinely like him.
Right? He's like, oh, you helped our marriage so much.
Why don't you go ahead and stay here?
Like,
They're like, why don't you go ahead and stay here?
He's our son. You leave, Julie. Fuck you. We're gonna keep fucking Leon.
But then he goes up to her room so they can talk privately. He immediately tells her about his houseboat. He seems very okay with this.
He gives her shit for her room. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. Remember you giving me shit for my houseboat?
Rightfully so. Just because you're living with your parents again doesn't mean you have to live like you're a child.
Oh no,
again.
it is definitely her room from when she was like in 7th grade.
We can assume she's been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? Since the wedding fell through.
Yeah, it makes sense.
In 2 years, you've had tried to adultify the room at least.
You've had plenty of time to kind of get rid of
some of the childish stuff, the uber childish things, right? So yeah, he has every right to make fun of her for this.
Could take the New Kids on the Block poster down.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, he seems surprisingly okay with his houseboat, though.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Like while he's talking to her about it, he's not like freaking out. He's not like I called the cops.
It's yeah, no, we didn't call the cops.
He's just like my houseboat's gone. Got nowhere to live. Now I
live here with you.
So he's like, now I really need to find that lady.
Yeah, now I really need to find that rich lady who wants to bang me.
He blames his wang for a second, right? He's like, maybe it's my wang's fault.
This is where he's tired of being the ladies' man.
Then he stops for a second, right? He's like, it's my wang's fault. And then he looks back at her and he's like, but that's crazy talk.
That's crazy talk. I can't blame that. It's not his fault.
But then we get deep for a second too, right? This is when he pulls out the letter and he looks at her and he's like, Julie, I really wish you wrote this letter. And she's like, nice. She quickly was like, we have never had sex.
It'd be real hard for us for that to happen.
But then he gets a little bit more touching. He's like, no, but I just mean like a girl like you. I need to stop chasing after these loose women.
These skanks, man. That's what they are. They're skanks. I'm sorry.
He's like, I just need a good woman like you. And so he's still saying like you.
Yeah.
And then she's basically like, yeah. Me.
I'm right here.
Someone who's this. Me. Someone who's this. Me.
And whose parents didn't kick you out.
Me. This is the first time where it's overtly slapping you in the face that yes, she is interested. Because every other time, like we said, like, yeah, it's a rom-com-y kind of way, maybe, right? But she definitely also very clearly shoots him down every time.
Yes.
This is the first time where there is visible, clear...
She's not shooting him down. She's leading him like, hey, dickhead,
hey,
I'm right
it's
here.
taken you 2 years to notice.
Right in front of your face. And he finally catches on.
Does he, though?
For a fucking second.
Does he though?
They kiss and it's so nice.
He sees the
Duluth. You think for a second he's like grown.
Nope. He sees the logo. They don't give us a reference.
The logo is the same as the postage stamp on the letter.
I get it, but
that's it.
How does that actually
sense memory? I guess he's like, I know that moon shape.
It's pretty random.
I guess they had to tie it together somehow so he would remember who bitch is that sent the letter.
But yeah, so he realizes it's got to be this.
In the middle of sitting there with Julie.
Yes, it's got to be this Duluth girl. He is like, well, I gotta go right now. I gotta get ready.
Yep.
Devastates her. She is
just leaves
devastated.
Her. Just leaves her right there
in the middle of the
he
touching
was kissing
moment.
Her a second ago.
He calls her. You notice this? He leaves Julie's parents' house. They were in a suburb and there was a payphone at the corner.
He called her.
But you're missing my point. There was a payphone at the corner in the suburbs. That's not where payphones were, dude.
No. It was left over from the 80s.
Well, no, it was just they needed convenient because Leon's stuck in the 70s, so he doesn't have a cell phone.
Fuck no, he doesn't even have a pager.
He calls the Duluth lady.
Honey,
yes.
Her name is Honey Duluth.
He calls Honey from the payphone.
Fucking Tim.
We see that it's Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Smoke show.
And she's in a bathtub, bubble baths and shit, and she's all hot. I hate it.
And she is totally like, look, yes, everything I said in the letter was true. I want you. I can't believe you remembered me. He's not gonna let her know how crazy it was to find her, but
he's like, yeah, I totally remember you.
Right away.
Immediately.
Only person I call.
It was the male's fault why it took so long.
But yeah, so she's like, yeah, no, it's all true. I want to leave. I want to take you around the world.
We're gonna run away together.
Around the world.
Trip around the world. You gonna pay for that?
Sure.
Of course. Oh, well, then that sounds great, baby.
And so then we see he makes a trip to the tailor. So
he's got to get some new threads.
When we see him enter the tailor's, we're finally given a glimpse into why he dresses the way he does. It's not just because he thinks it's great style. It's because he buys clothes from a man who thinks it's great style.
He's dressed the exact same way.
So every time he goes into the guy's place to say, "Get me the sharpest clothes you have,"
this dude
just dresses him in the 70s.
70s style. And this is actually the most muted outfit he has in the entire movie. The brown suit, which
he goes,
looks really nice.
Is this the darkest brown you've got?
Is
the darkest brown I got. That is German chocolate. You can't get no darker than that. All right.
This smooth. I like this.
I almost forgot a great line that we jumped over when he was on the phone with her. Right before he got off the phone with her, he hits her with I'm going to go to town on your money. And your ass. I love that money came first and she still wasn't insulted. She was like, all right.
Hey, man, she knows she's a
she did include it in the letter.
She did. She made a point to write it in the letter. So she knew
that it was important. After the tailor, we see...
he goes to Lester's bar.
Yeah, he's letting everybody know what's going on.
He's ready. He found her. He's all bragging about it. I'm going to be rich.
Who shows up?
Julie. Right in the middle of him talking about all this
shit. And what does she do?
Punches him right in the motherfucking face. He deserved it.
And then she does exactly the same thing she did.
As in the wedding dress.
She
Just
grabs the
the
bottle,
sits down,
and
just
starts
drinking.
getting wasted. Everybody else at the bar is like, oh shit. Now, and like half of them are having the realization, like they didn't realize she was into Lean, right? Like,
yeah, they're like,
half of them are like, oh, they're having the same realization we just told you guys.
Yeah,
that it's the same feeling she had from wedding night.
Again, we did it again. She's like, God
we get that knowing fourth wall break look from Billy D, though. Did you
and
see
he goes to like
he's
try
looking
and
at
like
us,
talk to her.
and
He's like, he looks at us and then goes over and she just looks at him and he's just like, he does so good in this movie.
Oh, he does. For all the small
for
things
the
he
small
does,
part,
he does them great.
He's so good in this fucking movie. I had to shout out some Billy D there for a second.
We get Leon showing up, Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
To this nice ass house, and she is in this fucking lingerie, buddy. Fuck yeah.
Stacks of cash
on the table, like she's a drug kingpin. They're just stacks
they never
of hundreds.
explain to us why there are stacks of cash either, because she immediately hits Leon with the news that they got to take care of a few loose ends.
You might have to kill my husband. It's no big deal. He's like, oh, well, I hope it don't come to that.
That you would assume is how she was going to get the money. Why was there cash on the table?
Told the insurance company he was already dead.
But how would she have it cash?
That's true. I don't know.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It was so random that the cash was. That whole scene could have worked without the cash on the table.
Really could have.
But yeah,
just to prove the point that she is in fact rich.
Yeah, I guess. But again, did you see the house? Yeah,
that was good enough. That was a huge house.
It was all really, really crazy.
Yeah.
She was so calm when she told him that she might have to. That he might have to kill
might have to kill my husband, but it's no big deal. And he's just like, well, I hope it don't come to that. But maybe we should slow things down just a little bit. He's like, he's trying to like block her off a little bit,
and then
because he's growing. He's growing as a person.
And then that's when we hear outside, right?
Just awful again, timing.
It's a lot of that in this movie, right? Just the timing happens to be the worst. So the VSA is all broke up. Dude, they don't know what to do. They've tried everything they could.
Tried everything, so they just
can't find Leon. So now, yeah, they're going to go to Lance's house. They're going to try to figure out their next steps, right? And you can hear Lance is trying to give him a encouraging speech, right?
Trying to rally him.
He says, take that defeatist attitude and subdue it.
And some more homoerotic wrestling talk.
That gets really
uncomfortable for everybody.
Like every other time it gets a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and this
they're
time
all just kind of like, it's a little weird, but yeah, this time everybody's just like, okay.
It's rough.
Even Lance at the end is like, oh, I may have gone a little too far.
But then they open the door.
And they're trying, she's trying to fuck him and he's trying to be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't, but they're still kind of already doing it, you know.
But so then when Lance busts in the door, you can see he's immediately like, oh, you,
it's you.
Leon hits him with you can't be mad at the Wang.
No, you can't be mad at the Wang. It's not the Wang's fault.
I swear if you hear, it almost sounds like he says, what's up, fellas? Like real calm.
Yeah.
Like he was expecting a group.
Yeah,
he was expecting this group. What's up, fellas?
He doesn't get flustered easy. You know?
He doesn't though. He's always really
calm. Even with the group of armed men coming to kill him. He's just like, man. They call him a son of a bitch. And he's like, don't call son of a bitch. That's not a nice thing to say now. And he stands up and and his dick's just.
And they're all like,
oh my God.
That was in my wife?
Yes. Yes, it was.
You should be proud of her.
Yeah, you should be proud of her. She took it like a champ.
It was so crazy. And then, dude, did you notice, like, they cut to a long shot of the whole crowd? The guy who yelled that, you can kind of see him going,
yeah, I can't compete with that, so, you know.
All right. Then we see Lester at the bar. He lets Julie know. Well, and this is what's crazy. Like, we can assume that this is maybe what he was trying to tell her when she pushed him off, right?
Off, basically.
Because no time has gone by, and he already knew about the people. But my next question is, why did he not tell Leon?
It's a good point.
He didn't tell Leon, hey, Leon, these guys came in here looking for you. I think they might kill you. But now that Julie is pissed off and technically probably so drunk she could not legally leave the bar to try to stop this.
Oh, and there ain't nobody in that bar that's sober enough to drive her.
Now is when Lester decides to come up and say literally those exact words. There's a group of guys. I think they might kill him.
Yep. They came in here earlier. You know.
You see what I'm saying?
I think we might ought to do something about this.
I think our narrator set up the story for us. Like he made it happen. He was like, look, if I don't tell people some key
things, I can manipulate this whole fucking situation
to be quite entertaining.
Where I can not only be entertained, I can actually make my friend grow as a person and set up this nice lady.
Oh.
Billy D. Williams, improving lives through lies.
Yeah. But so after he informs Julie that they might be killing Leon, we immediately cut to like the zoomed in shot of Will Ferrell strapping on the wrestling
He's in full
gear.
he's got the singlet on. He's ready for gonna wrestle.
And all I could think was a lot of people might be able to kill someone while wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
This guy,
Will
Lance
Ferrell.
ain't the dude.
Lance ain't the guy.
I would not look at Lance
Brock
and be
Lesnar,
like, I
he
might
is
be
not.
dying in the ring right now.
He's like, no, I think I'll be all right.
And we get the best, like he's lubing up. And do you see, like he puts an excessive
So much. It's
on just the one arm. On
It's
just the one though.
dripping down his arm.
And tries to lube up Leon.
You want some? Are you sure? And
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
Honey up in the balcony, she's like, you might want to take it. It can get pretty
Well,
rough and shit.
It was total, that was a anal choke
Yeah,
going back
it
and
was.
forth. It was so funny. And he's like, that's okay.
She's like, no, I'm good. She's like, all right, suit yourself.
Leon does exactly what any of us would do when you talk to a guy who's just like, wrestle.
I wrestle and
He
stuff.
just
It's like, I'm gonna
immediately
punch
walks
you.
up and punches him in the gut.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch you like 10 times.
Folds him over.
That's what usually happens when a wrestler goes up against a boxer.
Well, and then Leon just starts to walk away, and like half of the group are literally just like,
Oh, well,
I
that's
mean,
it. That's it.
That's
We're
what
done.
we told him we were about to do.
Yeah.
He won.
He won. Barney's like, no, fuck that.
Barney loses
and
it.
he has the hardest time.
Yeah.
He's trying to pull that gun out of his waistband and shit, and he finally gets it out. He's like, no, he has to die.
Yeah, Barney straight loses it. Leon starts to talk
Talks
to
him
him
down, man.
This is the moment where
This is
Leon tells everybody, right? He's like, look, guys, I'm not a bad guy.
you all need to treat your ladies
Your
better.
women wouldn't go looking if you guys would try harder to do the things they
one
want.
dude, he even like knows him. He's
Yeah.
like, one guy. Did you ever once listen to your lady? All she ever wanted was for you to listen and pay attention. You, other guy, did you ever try and like get your lady in the mood? You know,
All you guys just need to remember,
need to try
sometimes
harder.
try to put it in the butt.
It comes up all the time.
It does. Look.
And then if when all else fails, do it in the butt.
Yeah, he does. He walks away. Everybody is like, yes.
Yeah.
Julie shows up.
Oh, she hears the speech
And
stuff.
she's like, "Oh, he learned.
He's growing as a person, which is
And
all
so
I wanted.
even Barney's like, "You're right."
And he throws the gun down. He's like, man, it's fine.
And we see
I'm the problem.
this is my favorite, dude. Lance dives at the gun, and when he picks it up, because remember he was lubed, so he slid to get the gun. When he finally is able to stand up again, he hits like 8 poses, right?
And each time they react,
And I mean, when I say poses, I don't even mean like they're
Outlandish
not like
ones.
threatening
no,
poses
they're
with this gun.
goofy as
They're like
fuck.
Charlie's Angels
Yes.
poses with this gun.
That's exactly what they are.
At least one of them was not even with the barrel pointed at Leon.
No, he's just like up in the air.
Yeah,
or
and then
something.
finally though he ends it with, "Who am I kidding? I'm not mad at you.
That was way too dramatic. I'm sorry. It
I'm
just
with
throws the
these
gun-
guys.
You're fine.
They're all right. I'm the problem."
Right? I'm clearly gay. This is probably what it is.
And that wraps up the struggle in the movie.
Yeah, the struggle in
Then
the
we get
movie.
our nice happy, like
Wrap up
scene.
He's back on the air, back on the radio.
Everything has worked out. We don't know whose
like the
radio
number-
station. Yeah, he's
like
the number one. He also has been he's got an endorsement deal.
Yeah,
with
for
Hog Balls.
Balls. He's the face of America's
number one-
favorite Hog Balls brand, which I thought was fucking
It's
hilarious.
great. And Julie is still his
Yep, they've
producer.
got together. They're
We assume maybe they're married.
could be, could not be, not really important.
They
in this
definitely have
day
a
and age.
child together.
Yeah, that's the important bit. They have a kid, and it's a mini Leon. He's got a little afro and
Well,
everything.
And my favorite piece, the thing that we'll end the movie on, because that the last shot is just that we get to see the baby and know that they are doing well together. My favorite part about that though is Scrap Iron is the babysitter.
Is the babysitter?
They found him a job.
Yeah, man.
Taking care of their baby.
Fuck yeah. That's
I
a good
do
guy.
absolutely love that though. Like seeing him come in and
Just
hold the
carrying
baby
all
up.
the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shit.
Pushing
got
the
the
stroller
diaper
like
cart.
crazy as he comes around the corner. Loved it.
It's a perfect job for him.
But that was the movie, guys. That's how we end it. Definitely ended in a way where, even if the movie had done well, they couldn't have done another one, right?
Yeah, no, it's over. This
Because
is
if
a
you do
one-off.
another one from this, you totally shit on this one, right?
Yeah,
Because
no,
the whole
don't
idea here
ever-
is that Leon became a better person.
He grew
And so if he
all
becomes
this
a
shit.
ladies' man again, it means that he shit on everything with Julie and growth.
Yeah, you'd have
and
to start the movie with them getting like
a divorce
divorced
or something. Not good.
Yeah, no, never make a sequel to this.
We don't need it. Or if you do, it's on the kid,
Oh, son of ladies man.
right? Oh my god.
But what
I'm
do we-
in.
I'm down for that one.
I'm in. I like it.
That's next year's summer hit right there. Get on it, Hollywood.
Well,
Speaking
the movie
of-
was great.
Movie's great. Speaking of the Courvoisier, what do
Yeah.
you think?
We talked a little bit earlier. We said a few things. It's brandy, like we said. Unlike you, my high school career, I do not endorse underage drinking. My high
Agreed.
school career, though,
Yeah.
was full of a lot of brandy. Not
Not
cognac, not fancy French brandy,
Yeah, not fancy French brandy.
but brandy. And so like
Some E&J.
so this E&J, Parmesan,
Yeah.
this took me back to yesteryear, if you will, for sure.
This is my first time drinking
It's-
brandy, cognac, and anything.
it's got a kick.
I really like it.
It's got warmth. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
a good burn, though.
if you
it's not like
there's
vodka
a reason.
where it's real harsh.
There's a reason why when you watch like certain movies and they're talking about like on a cold night, cognac's one of those things they talk about drinking. It's because
yeah.
it does. It's got that. It's a very fortified kind of like burn
I
warmth
could
to
totally,
it.
and it's sweet. It's
Yeah,
got a
it's because
sweetness to it.
Yeah, it all starts
On-
from that fortified wine.
And not to sound too pretentious or like sommelier or anything, but it's got like these nice like cherry tones to
so that's
it.
going to be from the wood.
Oh, it's from
Yeah,
the
cherry
from the
yeah,
oak,
yeah.
from the cherry
Or
wood.
whatever. It's different types of barrels.
cherry
But yeah,
wood
but from whatever
barrel.
type, I promise that the cherry is definitely one of those things that usually comes from the barrel making.
But yeah, it's really good. It's a little expensive, but go try it. Go try you some Courvoisier and kick back and watch you some Ladies Man.
All right. So, but on that note, let's talk about what we're going to drink next week.
Next week, man, we're going full frat boy college. We're gonna do some Fireball cinnamon whiskey.
So you're saying the other end of the spectrum.
The other end of the we're
We went
fancy this
fancy.
week. We're going white trash next week.
All right. So keep that in mind, guys. You know, that's your clue.
That's your clue. Leave your
So
guesses in
Try
all
to
the
figure
social
out what you
medias.
think Fireball could be leading to. I think that's everything, man. I think we're done.
All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, please remember that if you do want to know that you have indeed fallen in love, remember you will feel it deep, deep in your pants. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm from the streets.